Let's get your take on something that just happened here. As you probably know, Gary Johnson, former governor of New Mexico, was on TV this morning, and he was asked about Aleppo. Here's what happened.
What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo?
About
Aleppo.
And what is Aleppo?
You're kidding.
No.
Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Okay.
Well, with regard to Syria, I do think that it's a mess.
How do you see this for Gary Johnson? He is relevant in as much as, in some polls, he's as high as 10%.
Well, look, tragically, the Syria war, Aleppo, foreign policy in general has not been a big part of this U.S. presidential election. To be frank, they very rarely talk about foreign policy. This, I believe, is to the detriment of the United States and to the presidential race and to the people of the United States, because you can see, as we have, that foreign policy tends to dominate most presidents' agenda, whether they want it or not, whether they campaign on foreign policy or not. It just is a fact of life. And so that kind of, I mean, look, what can you call it? He said he didn't know. He didn't know, so he's admitting he didn't know. This is a war that's in its 6th year, that currently the United States is trying to get a ceasefire and a total cessation of hostilities today between Secretary of State John Kerry and the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. In fact, they're meant to start tomorrow now. They've delayed it. But this is front and center for anybody who is paying any attention to the biggest disaster, the biggest crisis that is on the international stage right now, barring international terrorism. Frankly, it emanates from this crisis, as we know. And so, you know, that is the kind of thing that gives the rest of the world great pause. And so if Gary Johnson says that, and then if Donald Trump makes all sorts of differing statements about Syria, about ISIS, about what he would do, what he wouldn't do, about Russia. And by the way, this is crucial. Donald Trump has constantly, and again did last night, praise Vladimir Putin. Now, this is a leader of a country that currently has an adversarial, at the very least, an adversarial relationship with the United States. Yeah. And, you know, I spoke to Ash Carter yesterday, who said that, you know, he was doing the wrong thing in Syria, not the right thing. This is Vladimir Putin he was talking about.